Good morning, everyone. Hey, got a little reading for you today from the book of John. Several of the verses I'll be giving you today I have given you before, but today I'm going to give you a lot more. First, I want to come out here and show you my pickup. Can you see the back there? I've got my Trump flag and my American flag. Today is January 6th, the day that people are meeting in Washington, D.C. at the request of President Trump. I really wanted to be there today, y'all. I had planned on being there today, and then the wife of one of my best friends died, and I've got to stay here and be with him, and tomorrow is her funeral, and he is going to ride with me over there and then back home after the funeral. So I'm not going, but my heart is with everyone that's there. Last night, I didn't sleep hardly at all last night. Sometime around 3 or 4 in the morning, I saw a video that some patriot who was there had made, and the estimates were that around 6 or 7 p.m. Washington, D.C. time, which is Eastern time yesterday, there was already over 2 million patriots there. So that makes my heart happy. I'm going to behave and not get myself in trouble here, but I can almost 100% guarantee you that on January 20th, President Trump will be sworn in on Inauguration Day again for his second term. I think you all know what happened. President Trump promised us back in 2015 that he would drain the swamp. I think this year, or last year, the end of last year, around Election Day, he started seeing that swamp he promised to clean was a whole lot dirtier and a whole lot bigger than he ever anticipated. But God put that man where he's at for a purpose. And I told people, I wasn't on YouTube back in 2016, 2017, when the first election for him was coming. But I told people then that God appointed him for 2 terms, and I am convinced that God appointed him for 2 terms. Even today, I'm still convinced of that. And I have a very good feeling that he is going to be sworn in for a second term in just a couple of weeks. Well, let me get busy here. Yesterday, I harvested 2 of my big cabbage. I'm standing by one of my beds here. The cabbage I harvested yesterday was not from this bed, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 more cabbage there. I've got a lot of cabbage. Anyway, this year, for the first time ever in my life, I am making sauerkraut, and I've got 2 big cabbage. They were about 4-pound heads each, so that's about 8 pounds of cabbage that I shredded yesterday and began the process of making sauerkraut. A day before yesterday, I think, maybe 3 days ago, I can't remember, I went into town and I looked and I looked and I looked for the big canning jars. I had plenty, half pints, pints, and quarts, but I wanted either half-gallon or gallon size canning jars to put my sauerkraut in, because I am growing 16 heads of cabbage right now, and all but 3 or 4 of those I am growing for the sole purpose of making sauerkraut. So I needed some big canning jars for my sauerkraut. I went, I think, to 6 places. They didn't have them. finally, as a last resort, I went to Wally World, to Walmart. I hate Walmart. I despise Walmart. It's China owned now, and I just don't like anything about that store anymore. But I had already been everywhere else, so I went there. I even went to a store in the mall that all they sell is kitchen stuff, and I was sure they would have them. They didn't have any canning supplies at all, nothing. So I was kind of disappointed in that, but I found them. I wanted 2 cases. There's 6 in a case. I wanted 12 of the big jars, and I found 4 cases. I bought the 2 that I needed, and so I'm making sauerkraut now. But anyway, let me get somewhere where I can park myself and stand still and read to you from the Bible. I can't walk and read from the Bible at the same time. I guess I could, but this place is so uneven from the hurricane in 2017. It totally changed the topographical layout of my property. I had spent 10 years, or I guess 7, almost 8 years at that time, getting this place all leveled. I had hauled in probably around 40 loads of topsoil and sand to make it all even, and I had just hauled in some gravel for my driveway, and the flood washed it all away. It washed all that new gravel away and washed probably 80% of all that topsoil and sand away that I had hauled in over the years. And so it's like a roller coaster out here now. Plus the wild pigs digs this place up pretty bad, and so it's not a safe place to walk, especially for an old man like me that falls very often without looking at the ground. So I'm going to stop my rambling and park over here at my picnic table where I usually go and read you these verses from the first book of John. I'm not going to set the tripod up. I'm just going to hold it. But here I am. So, the Gospel according to St. John, chapter 1, and I'll be reading verses 1 through 17. And in these verses, it refers to someone as the Word. The Word is Jesus. They're referring to the Messiah. John is calling Jesus, Yeshua, the Word. So y'all just keep that in mind as you listen to me here. And anytime I use the word, I'm referring to Jesus. Verse 1, in the beginning was the Word. In the beginning was Jesus. Okay, and the beginning, he's talking about the creation. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. He wants to make sure you understand that. He wants to make sure you understand that Jesus was in the beginning for the creation with God. Most people think Jesus didn't come onto the scene until he was born in a manger of Mary outside of Bethlehem. Jesus was around for the creation of the earth too. Okay. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. and the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. That is what's happening today. Y'all, pray for everybody that's in Washington. Pray for President Trump. Pray for Vice President Mike Pence. Pray for their families. Pray for this country. Pray that God, through that rally, is glorified and magnified. Just pray, pray, pray for this country. I love this country. I am a patriot. I have been a patriot for a long time. Anyway, this is talking about the light shining in the darkness. We are living in the edge of darkness now. We need Jesus shining in the darkness today and for the next 4 years as President Trump cleans the swamp and fights valiantly for the Christian beliefs and principles in this country, and fights to get this country back like it was begun in the beginning as a Christian nation led by Christian leaders. That is what this country needs more than anything. President Trump is fighting hard to get that. So pray for him. Pray that he is re-elected. I know he is. It's just we got to clean up the swamp to make that manifested. And I think he's the man that can do it. Anyway, the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him, through the light who is Jesus, might believe. He, John, was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. And that's, I think, what I was sent for also, to bear witness of Jesus. That's what I'm doing on YouTube. To bear witness of that light that was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. He came unto his own. Jesus came to the Jews, which was his own, and his own received him not, and they're still not receiving him today. But as many as did receive him, to them he gave power to become the sons of God, even to them that believe on his name, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. We are not born of blood, nor are we born of our own will, the will of the flesh, nor are we born of the will of man. We are born only by the will of God. And the Word, Jesus, was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and full of truth. That is the part where Jesus came as a babe in a manger outside of Bethlehem. He was around, as you just read, for a long, long time before that. John bare witness of him and cried, saying, This was he of whom I spake. He that cometh after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. And of his fullness have we all received, and grace for grace. For the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came only by the only begotten Son of Jesus, of God, who was Jesus Christ. That, my friends, is the truth. That, my friends, is how it begun. That, my friends, is how it will be. Y'all pray. The world, this country, needs Jesus Christ. Y'all pray for the world. Pray for America today. Pray for President Trump and his administration. Pray for every person living in America. Pray for the safety and protection. I read many reports last night that the patriots were being arrested for crimes that Antifa and Black Lives Matter were committing in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is very liberal. The mayor is very liberal. Evidently, the police are very liberal. And the patriots are being arrested for crimes they did not commit. This world, this country is so messed up. Pray for everyone up there today, the 2 or 3 or 4 million, however many people it is. Pray for those people. Pray for our country. Pray for our leaders. This world, this country needs Jesus more than it needs anything else. That is why I share the gospel of Jesus here on YouTube. Y'all, I plead with you to share my videos that is talking about Jesus. The world needs Jesus. I don't care if I'm ever monetized or not. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here for fun. I'm here to share Jesus. My videos need to be shared that talks about Jesus because the world needs Jesus. If you're not a Christian, please listen to his still small voice. Go running into his arms. Let him save your wretched soul today. I love you. I appreciate you. I will talk to you whenever the Lord tells me to talk to you. And look, I'm wearing short sleeves today. It's not quite summertime again, but it's warm enough I can wear my short sleeves. Got a lot of work to do. I'll talk to y'all later. Behave.